Barack Obama, shouldn't you be at home trying to save your marriage? What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you. Former President Barack Obama has decided not to go quietly into the political night as other such former presidents have done. No, Barack Obama has decided to stay firmly rooted in politics, and now he is in Canada speaking with Prime Minister Mark Carney. Now, why on earth is former President Barack Obama visiting Mark Carney in Canada? Well, no one actually knows. President Barack Obama has been on quite the press tour lately, advocating for the segregation of certain people in voting districts, and also saying that he would reel in the Justice Department if he got to be president again.
The idea is that the Attorney General is the people's lawyer. It's not the president's consigliere.
And also telling us all that the reason that he's having marriage problems is because of President Trump. But fear not, Canada. Even though President Barack Obama has a ton of problems in his own life, he is there in good old Canada to help you save your country. And if you're asking yourself, what on earth is this former American president going to do to help Canada? Well, maybe just go ahead and take a look at what's going on over there in Great Britain. Yeah, see, former President Barack Obama was a mentor to Keir Starmer, and this week they had an election over there, and Keir Starmer's Labour Party is in the toilet. So, good news, Barack Obama is there to do the exact same thing to your country because Barack Obama cannot seem to let go of power. So, have fun with him up there. If you would like to trade former President Barack Obama for Alberta, we could probably negotiate that out. But other than that, have fun with him.
So why is Obama meeting with the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney? Is he like a foreign diplomat, or why? Why is he there? He's retired, isn't he? But lately, he seems to be everywhere. He's like in every election that you see. If someone's redistricting, he's in that. The Virginia election, he endorsed Spamberger. He went and told everybody to vote yes to redistricting. He endorsed Katie Porter for governor of California. He's endorsing all the communists, by the way. And now this week he was in Canada meeting with this other communist globalist. The banker from London that didn't even live in Canada until recently, and he somehow became the Prime Minister of Canada. I even heard that he was paid to be a consultant during the Biden administration, and he was being paid like $2 million or something like that. And that allegedly he even had his own little office in Congress or the Capitol or the White House or something like that. That's allegedly. But why can't he just go away? Ask yourself. Was he handling the auto pen by any chance? Because we all know Joe wasn't governing. I mean, he wasn't even all the way up there. I mean, who was in charge, really?
Been my son, who went to that store, got those Skittles, came back, and got confronted. When the Ferguson unrest happened, and he called for calm and accountability and understanding, he was still called divisive. Not because of what he said, but because of what people heard. And what they heard was a challenge. It was a challenge to the version of America they were comfortable with. So let's be honest. Divisive became a code word, a way to say, I don't like what this represents. Because a lot of people were fine with the idea of equality until it looked like him, until it had power, until it couldn't be ignored. So no, he wasn't the most divisive president. He was the moment this country had to confront what it had been avoiding for a very long time. And instead of dealing with it, people blamed him for it. Not because he divided the country, but because he exposed how divided it already was. What do you guys think? Do you agree?
I've been noticing for years that the Trump cult is absolutely obsessed with Barack Obama. So I decided to do some research to try and find out why the MAGA cult is so obsessed with Obama. Barack Obama has not been president for 10 years, and MAGA can't stop talking about him. They are literally obsessed with the man. They try and blame him for things that are happening today. That's not random. There's a psychological reason for that, although it seems a little creepy. Here are the 4 reasons the Trump cult is obsessed with President Obama. 1. The psychological wage of whiteness. In 1935, sociologist W.E.B. Du Bois at Atlanta University studied poor white Americans. White Americans, even the poor ones with no money and no power, felt superior to black Americans. Not because they earned it, but because for 250 years the entire system told them they were superior to black people. The law said it, the church said it, the culture said it. Du Bois called it the psychological wage of whiteness. This is a status payment people collect just for being white, a floor that white people couldn't fall beneath. Then Barack Obama became president. He occupied the highest status role in the country. That destroyed the floor. And when a status floor breaks, people don't quietly adjust. They backlash. Obama didn't just win an election. He took something they didn't even know they were depending on. They didn't earn this special status, but they thought it was stolen when Barack Obama got elected. And they've been trying to take it back ever since. 2. Social identity threat. Psychologist Henry Teifel at the University of Bristol spent decades studying in-group conflict. What he found was when a member of an outgroup outperforms the in-group, the psychological response is not one of admiration, but hostility. Teifel called this social identity threat. A failed black president would have confirmed the Trump cult's worldview, but Obama being polished, competent, scandal-free, and widely respected.
One of the best presidents of all times took a trip over to Canada because he had a talking agreement. Yes, he stopped for a meet and greet, took some photos and whatnot. Now we have MAGA truly upset with that. They think that he's doing something to undercut the guy in office now. But we all know that one of our best presidents has a large IQ. Or should I say high IQ. Way higher than the one that's in there now. Yes, it is. And, of course, he knows what he's doing. Because he's a lawyer. There you have it. So for all those people out there that's feeling high anxiety about favorite president meeting with the Canadians, have no fear. He doesn't do backdoor deals.
We have some news this morning. MAGA has erupted overnight over Barack Obama visiting Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Barack Obama visited Canada, and now MAGA is suggesting that he should be arrested, that he's launching some type of coup. I mean, you can't really make these things up, but it is a Saturday morning, so there usually is a crazy headline. You have folks like Laura Loomer saying, why is Barack Obama meeting with world leaders while President Trump is in office? This is a coup. You have another one, this is a big MAGA account on Twitter, saying Barack Obama is up in Canada holding private discussions with Mark Carney. Obama needs to sit down and figure his freaking place before his ass ends up in prison for violating the Logan Act. Mind you, Donald Trump met with world leaders in 2024 before he was president again and when he wasn't in office. There's nothing wrong with Barack Obama meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, but it does upset them because Trump doesn't have a great relationship with Carney. And if Obama has a good relationship, well, that's not good for, I guess, MAGA in some way. In any event, spread the word. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. I'll have another update.
So once again, the Republicans are triggered by President Obama. He could breathe and they'd be angry. And this time they're upset because he met with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada. That's it. Carney said on social media, welcome back to Canada, President Obama. Thanks for joining us in Toronto for important conversations on how we build a better future. Normal stuff, right? But for MAGA, they think that something deeper is going on. For example, Laura Loomer said, why is Obama meeting with world leaders while Trump is in office? This is a coup. She thinks that Obama meeting with Carney is an attempt to overthrow the United States government. Another popular MAGA account on Twitter said, he's a former president. This violates the Logan Act. No, it does not. Honestly, I don't know what the F he thinks he's doing. The balls the Democrats have, unbelievable. I actually responded to that tweet by saying this you, referencing her back in 2024, celebrating Donald Trump meeting with Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago. The MAGA Republicans hate Obama because he's better than Donald Trump in every single way, and people actually like him. He's one of the most popular politicians in America, despite leaving the presidency years ago. People still